Number 10, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Starting this list off is the Japanese light novel How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, written by Yukio Murasaki and illustrated by Takahiro Surasaki, which focuses on the MC Takuma Sakamoto, an elite gamer summoned to another world into a virtual game to save it from destruction. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is a great show to watch and jump into the Isekai genre, as it is a comedic, lighthearted show that also uses a new scenario to provide character development for its main character. In addition to providing a wide variety of supporting characters that each bring a different element to the show, while still complementing other aspects. Number 9, The Devil is a Part-Timer. The Devil is a Part-Timer is a Japanese light novel written by Satoshi Wagahara and illustrated by Oniku. Devil is a Part-Timer centers around the main character Satan and his exploits within modern-day Tokyo, when he is ousted from his kingdom. The only difference being he is in a powerless state and is forced to discover methods to make ends meet in a fast food establishment. This anime, mostly being centered around comedy, is a great installment within the genre of Isekai, and you should really give it a shot. Next up is the anime Log Horizon by Mamare Tuono, which began as a light novel. Log Horizon introduces a breathtaking virtual world called Elder Tale, in which our MC Shiro with his friends along with thousands of online gamers are trapped within, unable to log out. This series is an interesting take on the isekai genre and tackles it through the perspective of Shiro, a master strategist who seeks to test the limits of his abilities in addition to fully explore this new world. Log Horizon breathes a breath of fresh air to the isekai genre and takes advantage of a new world setting to capitalize on its world-building capabilities. Number 7 is Drifters, a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Kota Hirano. Drifters introduces our MC Shimazo Toyohisa, a samurai from the annals of historical Japan, as he is forced to participate in a battle involving the greatest warriors and heroes from history as a part of a survival game. The Drifters are pitted against another faction who go by the Ends, set on annihilating their fated enemies, the Drifters, and furthering their goals. The animation for Drifters is something that I find unique and portrays not only the emotions of the characters with vigor but with intensity. The fight scenes and choreography are both some of the highlights of Drifters, with vivid details and plot that keeps you invested from start to finish. Following up Drifters is Japanese light novel No Game No Life, written by Yu Kamiya. No Game No Life is interesting in the fact that it starts off with introducing two main characters who are siblings, Sora and Shino, who are infamous in the online gaming community as the gaming alias Blank. Known to never suffer defeat, they are suddenly one day invited to a game of chess in which they narrowly beat Tet. As the god of another reality, Tet invites and summons Sora and Shino to another world in which they can fully test the limits of their abilities in an environment that is more stimulating. Number 5, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is an interesting and visually striking show based on a Japanese light novel of the same title. The show originally sets place on what we are to believe is Earth. Mikami Sadoro becomes the unfortunate victim of an attack and dies, only to wake up and realize he has been reincarnated as an overpowered slime within an alternate world. From this point on, he seeks to unite the races that exist within the world and expand his territory, all in the hopes of figuring out one day what exactly happened to him to arrive to this new world and what was the purpose of him being sent here. The second season just released early January last year and is one of the more recently developed anime on this list. Number 4, Overlord. Overlord is a Japanese light novel written by Kugane Maruyama and illustrated by Sobin. Overlord follows Momonga, a devout gamer who on the last day of his favorite game's server being shut down, he decides not to log out. This leads to him being trapped within the virtual gaming world where all the non-playable characters have personalities of their own and can be interacted with. Momonga slowly begins his quest to make this world fall under his dominion. Overlord has had lots of success overseas in Japan, in addition to here within the US, producing 3 seasons all within a 3-year time frame. All we know so far about Season 4 is that it's slated for release in July of this year. We will just have to keep our fingers crossed for more updates on this tantalizing anime. Number 3 is Rising of the Shield Hero. Shield Hero is a Japanese light novel written by Neko Usagi that centers on Naofumi Iwatani, who when opening a book on his visits to the library is randomly transported to an alternate reality. In this world, he learns that warriors are summoned here as heroes to save the planet from an impending and recurring crisis called waves. Unfortunately, the inhabitants of this world have disdain for the Shield Hero and push their preconceived notions on Naofumi without giving him a chance. Despite this, Naofumi tries his best to carry himself with dignity and respect, befitting a warrior of his position and status. The show is engaging and shows you how even in the darkest of moments, there's always a choice to make the right decision. One of the best aspects of Shield Hero is the strength of its supporting cast. The character portrayals keep you genuinely immersed within the development of the plot and have you rooting for Naofumi without realizing. The runner-up of this list is none other than Japanese light novel series Sword Art Online, written by Reiki Kawahara and illustrated by Abeck. Sword Art Online's MC is Kazuto Kirigaya, who goes by Kirito. Kirito, on the official release day of the online game Sword Art Online, alongside thousands of players, is trapped in the game by the game master and developer Kaiba Akihiko. But that's not all. The game is set to where if you die within the game, you also die within the real world. And the only way to clear the game is to clear all 100 levels of Iron Crab, the game's claim system, which monsters among a variety of obstacles inhabit. One of the best features of Sword Art Online is the animation, a personal favorite being the fight cinematography within Season 2. Coming in at number 1 is the Japanese light novel series ReZero, written by Tappei Nagatsuki, which centers on the MC Subaru Natsuki, who finds himself teleported to an alternate world without warning. From there, he quickly becomes friends with the heroine, Amelia. He attempts to make the best of the situation, but seems to find himself frequently in scenarios which prove to be lethal. The catch being that he can't seem to die, and resuscitates back to a time when he was still alive. Subaru uses his wits and the tools at his disposal to uncover the truth behind the arrival to this new world and the purpose behind certain events set in motion. This show is very thought-provoking and keeps you on your toes by making viewers feel engaged in the story. Another great feature of ReZero is the music. The OSTs and themes really bring the characters to life and make you connect with them on another level. Well, that pretty much wraps up our list. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to check out our last one by clicking the link on the screen. And as always, it's never too late to like, comment, and subscribe to give us clues as to some videos you guys would be interested in.